Jason Kyle.
Here.
Dennis Miller.
Here.
Angela Woodward.
Here.
Dan Lawson.
Here.
Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Well, good evening and welcome everyone to the September 2nd meeting of the Ashland City Council. To our viewers at home, thank you for joining us. Members of our audience, members of the council, Mayor Miller, Attorney Bush, Director Paxton, welcome all. We have a full agenda this evening after our August recess. So we'll start right in. First item of business will be the approval of the minutes from the July 15th meeting of the City Council. If there are no deletions, corrections, or additions to those minutes, I'll ask for a motion to approve as submitted.
So moved.
Second.
Thank you.
Lawson.
Aye.
Workman.
Aye.
Kyle.
Aye.
Miller.
Aye.
Woodward.
Aye.
Minutes will stand approved. First ordinance this evening will be an ordinance authorizing the issuing of a then and now certificate for the following attached expenditures for the city of Ashland, Ohio, and declaring an emergency.
Move for non-reading in full.
Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you.
Lawson.
Aye.
Workman.
Aye.
Kyle.
Aye.
Miller.
Aye.
Woodward.
Aye.
Good evening. The ordinance that you have before you is something that was, I think, anticipated. Unfortunately, the invoice came before the purchase order was created. It is something of a common item, I believe, that is purchased there for the Parks Division. Just unfortunately, the timing of that did not fall correctly.
Very good. Any discussion? Hearing none, is there a motion to approve on the first reading?
Move to approve.
Second.
Thank you.
Workman.
Aye.
Kyle.
Aye.
Miller.
Aye.
Woodward.
Aye.
Lawson.
Aye.
I'll move to suspend the rules for three separate readings, 3 separate days.
Second.
Thank you.
Kyle.
Aye.
Miller.
Aye.
Woodward.
Aye.
Lawson.
Aye.
Workman.
Aye. Motion to approve the ordinance?
So moved.
Second.
Thank you.
Miller.
Aye.
Woodward.
Aye.
Lawson.
Aye.
Workman.
Aye.
Kyle.
Aye.
Ordinance 69-25.
Then we have an ordinance authorizing the city of Ashland to apply for and enter into a water pollution control loan fund agreement to provide funding for design and construction of sanitary sewer repairs and improvements to the collection system and declaring an emergency.
Move for non-reading in full. Second.
Thank you.
Workman.
Aye.
Kyle.
Aye.
Miller.
Aye.
Woodward.
Aye.
Lawson.
Aye.
As you know, the city of Ashland has been working on several projects that involve the upgrade of our current sewer system. One big part of our discussion has been the installation of a new trunk line along US 42, beginning in the vicinity of our second fire station at Mifflin Avenue and following US 42 along the bypass back to our treatment center over in the Middle Rouseburg Road area across from Ringler Field. That, of course, is not an inexpensive project. That is looking to be somewhere in the neighborhood of, when you consider all the design fees and the construction, probably in the neighborhood of about $15 million. So the finance director, myself, and our city engineer, we've been meeting to figure out how we can fund these possible upgrades. Now, that is the major upgrade, but another upgrade will take place in the Smith Road area. We know there's more growth coming there with the condos and a possible housing development on the edge of town there along Bainey Road. And so we are starting to take a look at what might need to be improved there in order to accommodate the growth that we expect to see over there during the next several years. The thing I do want to point out, though, is all of those upgrades, quite candidly, if we experience no growth, they will serve our current system well. For example, even if we don't see a new housing subdivision for years over in the Mifflin Avenue, King Road area, that will immediately relieve so much of the pressure off of the old system that's over on that side of town. And when I say that side of town, I'm actually talking about Taft School area all the way out to 42 and beyond. So these are good projects where we think we'll get the biggest bang for our buck, but we got to figure out where we get those bucks. And this is a Ohio EPA loan fund that offers loans at a much lower rate than we may be able to get with a traditional lending institution or going about it the usual way. They also at times offer possible principal forgiveness. Now, there's no guarantees that our projects would fit into those categories, but nonetheless, we need the council's authorization to start exploring those further. And we do not know the amount yet. We would be asking you to consider borrowing from these funds, but this is a first step that, as you read, President, authorizes us to be able to start to, I guess if you want to say, fill out the agreement or start the process.
Sure.
So, and actually, I should also add, we also could potentially utilize this fund for covering the cost of the additional EQ basin out at the treatments, out at the wastewater treatment center.
Okay.
So,
Great.
we've got, I know I've talked about it earlier this year and even last year. I know I talked about it with some of our local people in the media, the fact that there's some major expenses coming to upgrade our system. And it's partially because we have an old system, but it's also because we're starting to experience growth. And so we need to make sure that we're positioned to accommodate it once it happens.
All right.
Have we done this before?
No, I don't, not since I've been here.
Long time ago. It's been at least 30 years since the city has done this,
They,
used this type of financing.
I assume they offer, for the amount we're talking about, long-term,
Very long term.
yeah.
It is not unusual for communities to utilize this fund. In fact, it's probably more unusual that we haven't used it.
It's probably an easier process than going out for a bond, I would imagine.
About the same amount of work has to be done. It's just a different format.
Okay.
As you know, the bond market is driven by a lot of different features, where this is more of a high EPA regulated and controlled as the need is needed in the different communities across the state to try to upgrade or enhance their sewer systems and water systems.
They have a maximum, or they, not really? Maximum amount they'll lend to any one community, or?
I'm
don't know
not
that
sure
we- I
the
don't think we've
maximum,
got that far.
but it's
Sorry.
probably.
That's the
it's-
banker
It's a
in me,
long
sorry.
term, yeah. Hard to give up, right?
Well, and like I said, this is not, we're not filling out an application for a certain amount at this point,
understand.
as much as just have authorization to start
Exploring.
really digging into the process.
Right.
Okay.
If we utilize these funds for this project, will we be able to utilize it for other projects in the future? Or is this a one and done?
Oh, no, I believe you
Okay.
can use the fund for future projects. Now, I'm not sure if they're gonna set a limit on how much we can borrow, but,
Sure,
I do not know that,
Yes.
sorry,
that's okay.
yeah.
but yes, you can, and like I said, other communities utilize these
Sure.
frequently. So,
Yeah, sounds good.
Thanks.
Given the situation with the water division, I guess it's good that there's a resource available to
Yes.
us. And
Yes.
if it comes in more favorable terms, I'm all for it.
yes.
Yeah.
And you have to think about how many small villages, some case townships that might have their own system, and cities exist across the state of Ohio that do not have a population that's large enough to support multi-million-dollar upgrades to these types of infrastructure. And so that's why the fund exists. And we've been in a situation where, I guess you could say, our city forefathers have not felt that they needed to access these funds, but now we're getting into the area where we've got so many upgrades we want to do that we have to be creative on how we assemble the monies necessary to complete them.
Sounds good.
All right. If there's no further discussion, I'll ask for a motion to approve on the first reading.
So moved. Second.
Thank you.
Kyle,
Aye.
Miller,
Aye.
Woodward,
Aye.
Lawson.
Aye.
Workman.
Aye. I'll move to suspend the rules for three separate readings, 3 separate days.
Second.
Thank you.
Miller,
Aye.
Woodward,
Aye.
Lawson,
Aye.
Workman.
Aye.
Kyle.
Aye.
Motion to approve the ordinance?
So moved.
Second.
Thank you.
Woodward,
Aye.
Lawson,
Aye.
Workman,
Aye.
Kyle,
Aye.
Miller.
Aye.
Ordinance 70-25.
And we have an ordinance authorizing and directing the director.
Steve, you want to go to the hearing? 10 minute.
Okay,
Sorry.
let's moving on here. Yeah, we can start the hearing now. This will be a hearing for the alley vacation on Sandusky Street. And get my pages here. So this will be the final hearing for these three that we're taking into consideration tonight. We'll open the hearing and I'll hand it over to the mayor for, as chairman of the Board of Revision and Assessments, and we'll begin from there.
Okay, I think we're able to put up on the screen here. I won't go over and point it out because I think it's pretty clear what we're talking about. Currently, on the books of the city, we have an alley that extends from Evergreen Street to Sandusky Street. And this is undeveloped, and it does not serve a public purpose currently. You can see on one side off of Sandusky Street, it is the driveway to two properties that are located there on Sandusky Street, but the alley does not go on through to Evergreen Street. And therefore, it does not serve a public purpose. So with that in mind, we're proposing that the council vacate this alley.
And is there anyone here who would like to speak to the matter as a member of the public? I'll just ask Mr. Mason, are you sure, Joe, there's no public use for this alley?
His time is coming.
I'm here for it, but I know where you're talking about. I think when I was a young guy, I went through there for, I think,
Yes, yes,
Probably.
house on it.
there
Is it?
is.
Yes.
Yep.
But well, that's where we sledded down that steep hill.
So it did serve a public purpose at one time, yes.
For Joe.
That's
Very good.
Well, if we have no comments or questions from the audience, then the next step is for the Board of Revision and Assessments to consider whether or not they feel this is a good idea to vacate this alley. The Board of Revision and Assessments is made up of the finance director, the law director or his representative, and the mayor. And so I will call a meeting to order for our Board of Revision of Assessments and entertain any thoughts or motions you may have.
Mayor, I would move that we, the Board of Revision and Assessment, recommend to the city council that this alley be vacated. In research of that, it's a nice, very narrow cement driveway. It almost looks like it may have been originally for either a horse and carriage
Oh,
or maybe a Model A or Model T or something. At the back of that, and Joe is absolutely correct, there is a very steep hill. Now, Joe, you won't be able to slide on that because there's some trees out there now, but anyways, I would make that motion.
I second that motion.
okay, we have a second. Any further discussion? If not, we'll do a roll call vote. So, Mr. Paxton, do you favor vacating the alley?
Yes.
Mr. Bush?
Yes.
And I will vote yes as well. So now the Board of Revision and Assessments has determined that we will recommend to the city council the vacation of the proposed alley as seen on the map. So we would ask that you consider vacating this alley.
All right. Do you want us to go ahead with that now?
Sure.
And then we'll move on to the next one. This will be an ordinance to vacate certain alleys situated in the city of Ashland, Ohio, and declaring an emergency.
Move for non-reading in full. Second.
Thank you.
Miller,
Aye.
Woodward,
Aye.
Lawson,
Aye.
Workman.
Aye.
Kyle.
Aye.
Is there a motion to approve on the, this will be the second reading?
First reading.
This is the first reading? Oh, forgive me, of the ordinance, yes. We had one hearing,
Yes.
forgive me. So with that first reading, is there such a motion?
So moved. Second.
Thank you.
Woodward,
Aye.
Lawson.
Aye.
Workman.
Aye.
Kyle.
Aye.
Miller.
Aye.
Again, I'll move to suspend the rules for 3 separate readings, 3 separate days.
Second?
Thank you.
Lawson.
Aye.
Workman.
Aye.
Kyle.
Aye.
Miller.
Aye.
Woodward.
Aye.
Motion to approve the ordinance?
So moved.
Second.
Thank you.
Workman.
Aye.
Kyle.
Aye.
Miller.
Aye.
Woodward.
Aye.
Lawson.
Aye.
Ordinance 71-25.
Okay, then we have another alley vacation. This will be an alley vacation on Claremont Avenue. Mayor?
Okay, I will stand up for this one simply because it might help viewers at home picture where it's at. So here's King Road, here's Claremont Avenue, here's the Ashland University pedestrian bridge that's over Claremont Avenue, and here's the Student Center. Here is the proposed alley the alley that we're asking you to vacate. As you can see, if you're familiar with that area, there is no alley there. In fact, it is all landscaped. It's the delivery area for the back of the student center, and it's all been developed. So there is certainly no public purpose at this point for that alley that remains on our city books.
All right. Is there anyone here who would care to speak to this issue in any way, for or against? Seeing none, I'll hand it back
Okay.
over to you, Mayor.
So we'll go through the same process that we just did with the Board of Revision. So we'll call our meeting to order again and ask if we have a motion.
Mayor, I move that the Board of Revision of Assessments recommend to the council that this alley be vacated.
Thank you.
I would second that, Mayor.
Mr. Paxton seconded. Any further discussion? If not, we'll do a roll call vote, and I actually can ask, Terry, do you want to take the vote? I can.
Sure. I can
Go
do it.
ahead.
Mayor Miller.
Yes.
Larry Paxton.
Yes.
Andrew Bush.
Yes.
All right.
All right. Board of Revision and Assessments has given their recommendation to vacate this alley to council. And at this time, I'll read the ordinance. In summary, this is an ordinance to vacate certain alleys situated in the city of Ashland, Ohio, and declaring an emergency.
Move for non-reading in full. Second.
Thank you.
Woodward.
Aye.
Lawson.
Aye.
Workman.
Aye.
Kyle.
Aye.
Miller.
Aye.
I will move again to, forgive me, suspend the rules for 3 separate
No,
readings?
got-
Three
Steve,
separate-
pass on the first reading.
Oh, I'm sorry. Is there a motion to pass on the first reading?
So moved.
Second.
Thank you.
Lawson.
Aye.
Workman.
Aye.
Kyle.
Aye.
Miller.
Aye.
Woodward.
Aye.
I'll move to suspend the rules for 3 separate readings, 3 separate days.
Second.
Thank you.
Workman.
Aye.
Kyle.
Aye.
Miller.
Aye.
Woodward.
Aye.
Lawson.
Aye.
Motion to approve the ordinance?
So moved. Second.
Thank you.
Kyle.
Aye.
Miller.
Aye.
Woodward.
Aye.
Lawson.
Aye.
Workman.
Aye.
Ordinance 72-25.
By the time we get done with all 3 of these, we'll have it down.
Maybe.
Was that a maybe?
He said,
That's confidence. And then we have an alley vacation for Pleasant Street. Mayor?
Okay, I'll stand up for this one as well. So, this is Sandusky Street, this is Pleasant Street, and the first portion of alley that we're asking you to consider vacating actually goes through this home, Mr. Mason's home. That alley does not exist. So his house actually sits right here, so that currently does not serve a public purpose because it goes through his living room. Over here, this portion, if you had the chance to visit the site, you'll see that you can't even get through it because there's buildings and older cars parked in this area. This portion, as you can see, if this is impassable, this particular driveway entrance, currently on our books as an alley, leads to nowhere but the properties that are right next to it. So we feel that neither of these 3 sections of alley have a public purpose.
Very good. Is there anyone here who would like to take issue with this matter?
I'm not taking issue with it, it's kind of interesting though, because I was born in 1935, I'm not saying how old I am. I didn't figure that far back, but I still figured that was 90 years ago,
Yep.
and I grew up at that house. Never was an alley back, going through the house, of course. Never was there an alley between the house and the end of Pleasant and Sandusky Street. I don't know where that all came from, but, in any event, we don't want an alley through our house.
Okay, very good.
Good.
Appreciate that.
Just for information, I checked the court records the other day. My grandmother bought that from her uncle, who's my great-great-uncle named Jeff Sprangel, who owned a lot of property around there. He bought that whole area through there from his grandmother, who was my great-great-great-grandmother in 1862.
Wow.
And I didn't go back farther to see when she bought it. Her name was Margaret Ruth, like Babe Ruth, the baseball player.
Yeah,
But, that's an interesting story of that
it
property.
is.
That is.
So I was concerned that some way or other, somebody here would support keeping it open.
Yes, yes. It's crazy to think that's pre-Civil War, so I wonder what Ashland did look like and what was going on in everyone's minds here in Ashland
Right.
at that time.
Yeah, I grew up there, and my dad was born in that house in 1892. It was built in 1887.
Fascinating.
Wow.
So presumably there was no alley there when it was built in 1887. I don't think it ever existed. I think it brought that up.
Yeah, interesting. Thank you for sharing, Joe. So with that then,
Would you like the Board of Revision and Assessment?
yes, thank you.
All right, no problem. So we'll call to order the Board of Revision and Assessments and entertain a motion.
Mayor, I would move that we recommend the city council that these alleys be vacated.
Do we have a second?
Second that motion.
All right, any further discussion?
Mayor, I visited those alleys, not the one that Joe's house sits on, but the one that runs north and south, and that's a 16.5-foot alley. Both property owners have built into the alley a little bit, one with landscaping, another one with a house. The alley does service two garages of those property owners. And in doing that, the alley is wide enough almost to where they could possibly have two driveways, except that the house infringes on the alley, on the west side of the alley. This is a perfect example of why the city has rules and regulations and building codes so that we don't build on neighbors' properties or public right-of-ways or items like this. I am recommending this to be vacated. I believe it appears that both of the property owners are already sharing that driveway with their garages. So I do not believe that there will be an issue between the two property owners. The alley that runs west and east, you can see by the picture where it also has been infringed upon by the property owner. But I believe that is all, for the most part, one property owner. The one barn there, they will still have access to the outside of it. So I really don't believe that by vacating this alley, we are hurting anybody by doing that.
And that's a good point. I actually made a trip out as well, and as fate would have it, I talked to the owner of that barn in that section, and she almost was busy making the case why please do vacate it, rather than having any objections to it, and why we shouldn't consider keeping it open. So I think you're right. So, any other comments? If not, then we'll have a vote.
Mayor Miller,
Yes.
Larry Coxon,
Yes.
Andrew Bush.
Yes.
All right, thank you. So we're recommending to vacate the alley off Pleasant Street.
All right. This will be an ordinance to vacate certain alleys situated in the city of Ashland, Ohio, and declaring an emergency.
Move for non-reading in full.
Second.
Thank you.
Lawson.
Aye.
Workman.
Aye.
Kyle.
Aye.
Miller.
Aye.
Woodward.
Aye.
And with that, is there a motion to approve on the first reading?
So moved.
Second.
Thank you.
Workman.
Aye.
Kyle.
Aye.
Miller.
Aye.
Woodward.
Aye.
Lawson.
Aye.
Again, I'll move to suspend the rules for 3 separate readings, 3 separate days.
Second.
Thank you.
Kyle.
Aye.
Miller.
Aye.
Woodward.
Aye.
Lawson.
Aye.
Workman.
Aye. Motion to approve the ordinance?
Move to approve.
Second.
Thank you.
Miller.
For Joe, yes.
Woodward.
I guess for Joe, yes.
Lawson.
Me too. For Joe, yes.
Workman.
Aye.
Kyle.
Aye.
Ordinance 73-25.
All right. The alley is vacated, Joe. It's yours. Yes.
Your living room.
You can stay in your house.
You can sleep at night.
Well, with that, Joe, your being here, I want to say you are very well thought of in this community and in this council. And we appreciate the service you've provided this community for many, many years. Yeah, so thank you. Absolutely. All right, moving back then. Our hearings are over. We'll move to ordinance C, which is an ordinance authorizing and directing the Director of Finance to make the following transfers within 2025 appropriations and declaring an emergency.
Move for non-reading in full.
Second.
Thank you.
Kyle.
Aye.
Miller.
Aye.
Woodward.
Aye.
Lawson.
Aye.
Workman.
Aye.
These transfers are monies that you've already appropriated within the 2025 appropriations. It is not new money, it is moving money from one line to another within that. There have been some negatives that have appeared on the right side of the column. And in doing that, it allows us to go and meet the needs of those departments or those lines. The only one that, well, I guess it's not there, never mind. I was gonna have another comment, but I won't.
Any discussion, questions for Mr. Paxton? Hearing none, is there a motion to approve on the first reading?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you.
Miller.
Aye.
Woodward.
Aye.
Lawson.
Aye.
Workman.
Aye.
Kyle.
Aye.
And again, I'll move to suspend the rules for 3 separate readings, 3 separate days.
Second.
Thank you.
Woodward.
Aye.
Lawson.
Aye.
Workman.
Aye.
Kyle.
Aye.
Miller.
Aye.
Motion to approve the ordinance?
So moved.
Second.
Thank you.
Lawson.
Aye.
Workman.
Aye.
Kyle.
Aye.
Miller.
Aye.
Woodward.
Aye.
Ordinance 74-25.
Then we have an ordinance authorizing the Director of Finance to transfer funds from one fund to another within the annual appropriations and declaring an emergency.
Move for non-reading in full.
Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you.
Miller.
Aye.
Woodward.
Aye.
Lawson.
Aye.
Workman.
Aye.
Kyle.
Aye. The only difference between these two ordinances that, is that we are transferring monies from the general fund to the railroad rehab project down on Orange Street, or Orange Road, isn't it? There was an additional cost of like $300, $400 that wasn't part of the project, came in more than what we thought it would be. And that's why it says underneath there, as needed to pay invoices. And currently, I have an invoice for about $339.30 or something like that. But by appropriating this, it will only be transferred as needed to meet those needs. That project came in, I believe Ashland Railroad handled most of that project where the city didn't have to. The mayor might be able to better explain that, but anyways, this just covers the immediate need.
And I don't remember the exact amount, but I believe, and you correct me, because you might, it ended up being around 800,000,
Yes,
right? And it
yes.
was all covered. And so for us to be able to chip in $300, or,
Yeah.
that's not a bad deal.
I think we had like $4,339 in the project. Yeah.
We got a grant for all the
So-
rest.
Yes,
Yes.
that's great.
Please hurry up and transfer that.
Yeah.
Please pay the bills.
Approved.
Any questions, discussion? Hearing none, is there a motion to approve on the first reading?
So moved.
Second.
Thank you.
Woodward,
Aye.
Lawson.
Aye.
Workman.
Aye.
Kyle.
Aye.
Miller.
Aye.
I'll move to suspend the rules for 3 separate readings, 3 separate days.
Second.
Thank you.
Lawson.
Aye.
Workman.
Aye.
Kyle.
Aye.
Miller.
Aye.
Woodward.
Aye.
Motion to approve the ordinance?
So moved.
Second.
Thank you.
Workman.
Aye.
Kyle.
Aye.
Miller.
Aye.
Woodward.
Aye.
Lawson.
Aye.
Ordinance 75-25.
And since we're talking about the railroad project over in the Pump House District, that was a necessary component in order for the pump house development to move forward, the removal of the old rail spur on the site. And now that project is completed, and I know it has been reported, but I'll give you the most current update. The contractor for the construction of the Pump House District has completed a street closure permit to begin work on September 8th. And it'll be closed for some time, but it's the section of 4th Street between Orange Road and Union. So that particular section of street will be closed for quite a while, but aren't you excited that we finally have a street closure request from the contractor? So we'll be seeing activity soon.
Yay.
Great.
Thank you, Mayor, for the update. I've never been so happy to have a
Street closed, I understand.
So, all right. Then we have an ordinance authorizing and directing the mayor, director of public service, to enter into a contract modification for the 2025 street resurfacing project in the city of Ashland, Ohio, and declaring an emergency.
Move for non-reading in full.
Second.
Thank you.
Woodward.
Aye.
Lawson.
Aye.
Workman.
Aye.
Kyle.
Aye.
Miller.
Aye.
With the finance director's help, when we're preparing our summer pavement program budget, we're always very conservative in our estimates of what the revenue will be to cover the cost of our summer pavement program. This year, when we were putting together the list of streets, we were operating with the idea that we would have $2 million to spend on new asphalt. As we've got through the year, we found that we do have a little bit more than $2 million. And so tonight, we're asking you to authorize us to issue that word that usually is dreaded, but in this instance is not a bad thing, a change order to the original summer resurfacing contract so that we can do more streets and more paving than what we originally intended. Now, what we're asking for is you to authorize us to spend another $200,000 on new asphalt. Some of this could end up on various streets that weren't on the original list, but some of it will most certainly, if you authorize it, end up on the streets out at Brookside West and some of the paved parking areas, because those are deteriorating fast and they're getting more use than ever before. Especially now that we have the new pickleball courts out there. Now, all of the gravel parking lots out there will remain stone, but the asphalt surfaces would be resurfaced with some of these funds. Now, if I were you, I'd probably be thinking, well, what additional streets? And we don't have that for you just yet. We are asking you to authorize us to spend another $200,000, and chances are that money on streets would be distributed where perhaps the Sarver paving crew is paving Street X, and while we're there, we know there's one that's in bad condition right next to it, and we might throw in a section of Street Y so that they can fix that while they're in that neighborhood. So this is a step we just wanted to take so that we can start working with Sarver to figure out where we can install additional asphalt.
So this probably means, because at the start, we were hoping we might have additional funds for some alleys. this probably means that's not available at this point.
Well, and I will tell you what, a lot of the work that's done on alleys is done by our city street department. And I'm not necessarily sure that a lot of that money comes out of, I guess it does. There would be materials, some of the materials. But I don't know that it'll have an impact on our alleys.
Okay, because there's some in
Oh, yes.
real bad shape.
And usually if there's one in bad shape, we try to address it. So if there's one, I know you had me go out and look at one.
Yeah.
I don't know if we addressed that yet or not.
Not yet,
I passed it on, so,
no,
okay.
not yet, so.
And when I say passed it on, of course, passed it on to the street department director that we needed to give it attention, so
Okay,
we can check again,
thank you.
yes.
Any further discussion?
We're still within the bounds of our levy,
Yes.
even if we go do
Yes,
Brookside Park with that
yes,
same dollars.
yes.
Okay, I just want,
Yes,
that's the first thing that struck me, I was like,
yes.
as long as we're still cool. I mean, that was in place long before
Yep.
I came on council, so
Yep.
that's why I thought I'd ask.
Nope, it's a good question. And we
Yeah.
have done that before. We've done
Okay.
that through sections of the parking lot over here in South Street. I think we might have once used it for portions that were bad out here at
Yeah.
the city hall.
Okay, cool.
And so, yes.
All right. Any further discussion? Hearing none, is there a motion to approve on the first reading?
So moved.
Second?
Thank you.
Lawson.
Aye.
Workman.
Aye.
Kyle.
Aye.
Miller.
Aye.
Woodward.
Aye.
Again, I'll move to suspend the rules for 3 separate readings, 3 separate days.
Again, I will second it.
Thank you.
Workman.
Aye.
Kyle.
Aye.
Miller.
Aye.
Woodward.
Aye.
Lawson.
Aye.
Motion to approve the ordinance?
So moved.
Second.
Kyle.
Aye.
Miller.
Aye.
Woodward.
Aye.
Lawson.
Aye.
Workman.
Aye.
Ordinance 76-25.
Next, we have an ordinance authorizing and directing the mayor to enter into a contract for the purchase of equipment for the water treatment plant of the city of Ashland, Ohio, obviating formal advertising and bidding due to equipment failure and declaring an emergency.
Move for non-reading in full.
Second?
Thank you.
Lawson.
Aye.
Workman.
Aye.
Kyle.
Aye.
Miller.
Aye.
Woodward.
Aye.
Well, first of all, let me say that I know we sent you a lot of information regarding this particular item on your agenda.
What do you
In
mean?
fact, it's a small book, really. But I will try to boil it down in a nice summary so that anyone that's watching from home can understand what we're talking about tonight. This, of course, is involving our water treatment plant. At our water treatment plant here in the city, we have 2 lime slakers. Now, these lime slakers are between 30 to 40 years old. And if you're like me, you might be asking the question, what is a lime slaker? Well, basically what it is we bring in the lime that we use to soften our water in pebble form. Those pebbles are put into our lime slaker. It combines those pebbles with very, very hot water. It turns that lime into a slurry, and then that slurry is fed into our water softeners. We've talked about our water softeners before because we've made some improvements to those. Well, these 2 lime slakers, as I mentioned, are very old. They're nearly 40 years old, and one of them has completely failed. So we're only operating with one today, and they are very important because they are what's helping us keep our water soft and keeping it tasting and performing the way our residents have come to desire. Originally, we were looking at potentially repairing that unit. And when it was all said and done, it looked like it was going to be over $30,000 to $40,000 to repair this failed lime slaker. So after looking at that cost, we've decided to ask that you consider replacing it at a cost of $145,230. It's such a vital component of the way we treat our city water, and knowing that it's already more than 3 decades old, we just don't think it's worth the investment of putting $30,000 into it. I will tell you, just as an FYI, the Ohio EPA is always interested in anything that we do at our water treatment plant, and they are encouraging us strongly to replace both units. They're not mandating that we replace it, they're not requiring us that we replace it, but they're encouraging us to get these on the schedule to replace. So with that in mind, I bring to you tonight the proposal to purchase the lime slaker at $145,230.
Any discussion?
So
Just to be clear, it's pronounced Slaker and not Slacker.
Yes, slaker,
We don't
yes.
have any slacking
No,
going on.
I hope there's no slacking at the water treatment center.
Any real questions?
do we have plans to purchase number 2 then?
Our plan would be to do it next year,
Okay,
yes.
all right.
Reminds me of a gold mining sluice
Yeah.
machine, truly. All right, if there's no further discussion, I'll ask for a motion to approve on the first reading.
So moved.
Second,
Thank you.
Workman.
Aye.
Kyle.
Aye.
Miller.
Aye.
Woodward.
aye.
Lawson.
Aye.
I'll move to suspend the rules for 3 separate readings, 3 separate dates.
Second.
Thank you.
Kyle.
Yes.
Miller.
Oops.
Yes.
Aye.
Woodward.
Aye, yes, whatever. You got it.
Lawson.
Affirmative.
Aye.
Workman.
Aye. Did you get them all?
I-
Okay.
I
voted like
didn't
three-
say aye.
I think I voted 3 times.
He did, I didn't say aye. I did not say aye.
Aye.
It's fine. Somebody over there did it for
No,
me.
it's good. Hey, we've had a,
This is going in the minutes.
yes, exactly.
It's a
It takes a meeting or two to get back in the swing of
It does.
things.
Yes,
So I think that was the first reading.
No, that was the third.
Yep.
You did that one already.
Who's on
Yep.
Now
first?
you're approving it. You're passing it.
We're done.
No, pass it now.
Okay. Is there a motion?
Move to approve that we buy this lime Slaker.
I second.
Thank you.
Miller.
Aye,
Woodward.
I think.
Lawson.
Aye.
Workman.
Aye.
Kyle.
Aye.
Ordinance 77-25.
Who's on first? What's on second?
what's that?
Who's on first?
Just say it with pride.
Okay.
All right.
Who's in charge of this mess?
So does
Moving on,
Angela,
we
did
have
Angela vote?
A
She
ordinance.
did vote, okay.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I didn't say aye again.
Why don't you vote?
Did you say my name? Yes.
I didn't
Oh, I
hear it, that's
never-
why I asked.
I never
Yeah.
said aye.
Say, if you say aye now, it'll count.
Aye.
Okay,
Woodward.
Aye.
I know.
All right, good.
You have to say aye now.
yes,
Sorry, Terry.
that's okay. We want your vote to count, Angela, really.
That's right.
Yes. So item G, we have authorizing and directing the mayor to enter into a contract with Pavement Technology Incorporated for the application of an asphalt rejuvenation agent, Reclamite, on selected streets within the city of Ashland, Ohio, and declaring an emergency.
Move for non-reading in full.
Second.
Thank you.
Workman.
Aye.
Kyle.
Aye.
Miller.
Aye.
Woodward.
Aye.
Lawson.
Aye.
All right, this should sound familiar, because several years ago, for the first time, we moved forward with applying this pavement rejuvenator on our newly paved streets. The reason we did so was because tests have shown that by utilizing this pavement rejuvenator, you can extend, on average, your pavement's life for somewhere in the neighborhood of 3 to 5 years, which is very significant. Right now, the market would tell you that newly installed asphalt that is well-traveled should last about 15 years. So if you can get an extra 3 to 5 years, that's a good thing.
Yeah.
It saves us a lot of money. And we tried this. In fact, I believe one of the first streets it was tried on was Smith Road in your
Doing
ward, Mr.
fantastic.
Caio. And there is a noticeable difference on the streets where we utilized it. And basically, what it is it's a pink, this is a terrible descriptor, but it's a gooey substance that's sprayed down on the new pavement. And they come back through and put a light
Sand.
coating of sand on it. And the streets are usable that day. And they sweep up the sand, and eventually it extends the life of the pavement, I guess. Now, the science behind it is, they say it's, asphalt has a binder in it, and this rejuvenator has a binding material that reactivates the original binder in the asphalt and makes it more malleable or flexible and gives it longer life.
It's
So,
like sunscreen for asphalt.
is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
It keeps the UV from breaking it down by rejuvenating the emulsified fire
That's a
in the
very
top.
good way to
It's-
describe
It's
it.
sunscreen
Yeah.
for asphalt.
So we're suggesting that we move forward with using it again. And this time, we would like to add it to about 89 different sections of street throughout the city. Now, the wonderful thing is, you're supposed to put it on right after you've resurfaced streets, within about 2 or 3 years. And the fact that we can say we have 89 newly paved sections of street all over the city, that's a marvelous thing, because there's not too many communities that would be able to say that they've paved that many streets in the last couple of years. So we are able to use the ODOT contract through a cooperative purchasing agreement, and we expect that the cost for adding this pavement rejuvenator, Reclamite, to 89 sections of various streets across our city to be about $340,000. And that can be paid for out of our street resurfacing line item.
Okay. Any questions, discussion?
I just think it's a wonderful use of funds.
I do too.
Absolutely.
And the sampling of streets here that we're going to cover are all over the city.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
With that then, is there a motion to approve on the first reading?
So moved.
Second.
Thank you.
Kyle.
Aye.
Miller.
Aye.
Woodward.
Aye.
Lawson.
Aye.
Workman.
Aye. I'll move to suspend the rules for 3 separate readings, 3 separate days.
Second.
Miller.
Aye.
Woodward.
Aye.
Lawson.
Aye.
Workman.
Aye.
Kyle.
Aye.
Motion to approve the ordinance?
So moved.
Second.
Thank you.
Woodward.
Aye.
Lawson.
Aye.
Workman.
Aye.
Kyle.
Aye.
Miller.
Aye.
Ordinance 78-25.
Then we have an ordinance authorizing and directing the mayor to enter into a contract for the purchase of well drilling services for the water treatment plant new well number 15 of the city of Ashland, Ohio, obviating formal advertising and bidding and declaring an emergency.
Move for non-reading in full.
Second.
Thank you.
Kyle.
Aye.
Miller.
Aye.
Woodward.
Aye.
Lawson.
Aye.
Workman.
Aye.
So, we talked about this several months ago, and what we talked about in that meeting specifically was what we referred to as well number 14. Now, at that time, I reported to you that at any given time in our city right now, we have approximately 10 wells in production. And when I say that, these are wells that are in the ground that are producing the water that we utilize here in the city. At that time, I reported to you that our average daily use came in at around 2.5 million gallons per day. We have the ability to produce up to 5 to 6 million gallons a day and treat 5 to 6 million gallons a day, so we've still got plenty of room to grow. But we produce right now and use about 2.5 million gallons per day. Well number 14, when we did our annual inspections of our well, it was determined that it had major issues. The wellhead had cracked. If you remember, I went through, we had a drawing and all that sort of thing. It was recommended that rather than build a new well or try to find a new location for a new well, we go ahead and resuscitate that well, rebuild it. Well, as they've got into the process, and Burgess and Nyepel, our engineering firm, has been exploring it, and we've been talking with the EPA, this is what we have discovered, that if we move 10 feet away from that existing well, we can drop another well, a new well. We'd have to abandon number 14, but 10 feet from the location of number 14, we can move one direction and drop a new well, and they are saying that it will produce over 2.8 million gallons of water a day. Now, I want you to think about that. That is more out of that one well than what we currently use in the city on any given day, and that is one well. So well number 14 was one of our largest producing wells, and was producing when it was in use about 1 million gallons a day. If we drop this new well, we can produce, their estimating engineers say, about 2.8 million gallons of water a day. So with that in mind, we did take a look at the cost, and basically what it amounts to is this. Previously, we were telling you we thought to revive well number 14, make all the necessary repairs, it would cost us about $198,000. What we're proposing to you tonight is that you authorize that we develop this new well, 10 feet from well number 4, at a cost of $272,000. So about $73,000 more. And the reason why this is not a $400,000 figure or a $600,000 figure is because, number one, it's land that we currently have access to. Number two, we don't have to run any additional power lines or anything like that, and we don't have to increase the length of our transmission lines or anything that would normally go out along with finding a new location and dropping a new well. So with that in mind, we are asking you to forego the idea of resurrecting well number 14 and instead authorize us to dig well number 15. And it will generate, if all is as everyone believes it will be, more water from that single well than we use in one day currently in the city of Ashland. That's pretty amazing.
It is. Time to ditch the old.
I think so, because it's only 73,000 additional dollars.
Yeah.
Is there a cost associated with demolishing well number 14?
It's in,
There probably will be, but it'll be minimal, they'll cap it.
Okay.
Yep.
yeah, that's what I thought.
Any further
Thanks.
discussion?
Did they expend any funds on repairing well 14, or did they stop short
It
before
would
they
be,
did that?
it would be primarily with the engineering firm.
Yep.
Yep.
All right. Very good. With that then, is there a motion to approve on the first reading?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second,
Thank you.
Miller,
Aye.
Woodward,
aye.
Lawson,
Aye.
Workman.
Aye.
Kyle.
aye.
What's the timeline for that?
I asked that question, and what was I told? They will get,
This year yet?
yes,
Okay.
it is by the end of September, not by the end of September, there was one step. I made a note of it, and I don't even know what I wrote down. I believe they said they thought the process would start by the end of September.
Okay.
Do not hold me to that,
No.
because I don't have that written down, but I did ask it,
Yeah,
yeah.
okay.
The abandonment at well
Yeah, I
14,
seen it.
okay,
Yeah,
is in,
thanks.
is in their quote.
I just
All
thought
right.
they might.
With that, I'll move to suspend the rules for 3 separate readings, 3 separate days.
Second,
Thank you.
Woodward,
Aye.
Lawson,
Aye.
Workman.
Aye.
Kyle.
aye.
Miller.
Aye.
Motion to approve the ordinance?
So move.
Second,
Thank you.
Lawson,
Aye.
Workman.
Aye.
Kyle.
aye.
Miller.
Aye.
Woodward.
Aye.
Ordinance 79-25.
And I do remember, I asked that question, and they did not have a specific time frame. They said it will depend on how quickly the crew can mobilize. Is that the word, mobilize?
Okay.
There was another word they used, not mobilize, but basically,
Get to it.
yes. That was the way I heard it,
Yeah.
but yes.
But we're fine, obviously, with the
Yes, oh,
9
yes,
wells.
yes. Because we do have 10 wells in production.
Yeah.
Yep. Well, I'm sorry, we have 9 wells in
9,
production,
yeah.
yeah.
These infrastructure items are not glamorous. They're not much fun to talk about,
Yep.
but very important. And, yeah, so it pleases me that we're discussing so much about the water treatment, the water well
Yes.
situation, because we have to be poised for growth.
Exactly.
And so,
And I think folks know me well enough that they would probably expect I would say something like this, but I'm someone that firmly believes everything happens for a reason. And I'll be honest with you, when they did that spring inspection of these wells, it was kind of a shock that well 14 had this broken
Casing,
casing, yes. And in fact, no one really can explain why it happened. And I find it very interesting that we find that just 10 feet away, we could double the amount of production for less than $100,000 difference cost. And who knows, maybe we are getting ready for major growth in our city.
all right, moving to resolutions then, since we had already taken care of the vacation of the alleys. We have a resolution accepting the amounts and rates as determined by the Budget Commission and authorizing the necessary tax levies and certifying them to the county auditor.
Move for non-reading in full.
second,
Thank you.
Workman.
Aye.
Kyle.
aye.
Miller.
Aye.
Woodward.
Aye.
Lawson.
Aye.
This is a standard piece of resolution that, as you recall, we did the tax budget previously this year. In doing that, it sets, the main purpose of the tax budget is to prepare the schedule of what the county auditor would be collecting or possibly collecting, in the different columns and different types, the general fund, the bond, park and recreation fund, police, fire, and general fund. What's important about Schedule A is that at this point, this sets what, based off the inside millage that the city is allowed, it sets up a estimate of what we, if all the property taxes were collected that are on the books, these are the dollars that the city would collect. Now, in reality, they're not gonna collect every dollar because some people don't pay their property taxes in a timely manner. So, this is the, like, gross amount that we would possibly collect on these different items. Now, please keep in mind that the inside millage is unvoted millage. It is directed or created by the state working through the county and creating a formula so that the city can use that millage for these purposes. However, the Parks and Recreation Fund is outside the inside millage, which means it has to be voted on and approved by the voters every 5 years. At this point, I believe we have at least a year before that has to go before the voters, and it would not expire for 2 years. So, please keep in mind that, that this is things that, behind the scenes, that drive your property tax bills. There is some discussion in the State House to, they are looking at avenues or ways to create some property tax relief because of some of the evaluations going so high. And one of them may be on this inside millage. But for right now, this is what we have to work with for the coming year that the county auditor will use, which is in place for right now. But anyways, I just wanted to understand how that works a little bit. All of that work that we do for the tax budget comes down to these numbers, so.
Any discussion?
Larry, is that, and this is just curiosity more than anything, is that Parks and Rec levy, is that eligible to become continuing?
No, it's outside millage that is required to be paid, to be adopted by the voters. It is not inside millage.
Right, because you don't vote on inside millage.
That's correct,
It's a state
yeah.
appointed
Believe it or
mill.
not, this same millage has been in place for years. It's not been a renewal.
Right,
It's still at that level when it was initially voted on by the voters. I don't believe I've seen any renewal or replacement levy, excuse me, on that. So it's the same millage for all that time.
yeah. We just, and the only reason I bring that up is with permanent improvement money at the Career Center, which I realize is a different situation, but similar in the way they get funding, right? Throughout the years, you worry about voter fatigue. Oh my gosh, they're on the ballot again. So 2 of the permanent improvement, they were $250,000, I think, at the Career Center. We converted them instead of 5 years to continuing. I mean, there's a downside to that is that millage never changes and your collection over the course of many, many years reduces, right? But I was just, we just was an attempt to, they had passed so many times in the past, it was like, well, let's just see if the voters would want to make them continuing, and they did. And then they don't have to go on the ballot every 5 years. So That's the only reason I ask. Had pretty good
You
success.
are
with it.
correct, because once that is passed as a continuing, you are locked into that
Mhm.
rate forevermore.
Yeah, you can never do a replacement on it because it's there forever.
If this were to have been a replacement levy, it would probably, I think at one time, years ago, I calculated about $324,000 would have come into the park levy because of that.
Mm-hmm.
Previous councils and administrations did not want to, I'm not trying to second guess their decision.
No.
But they chose to just have it as a renewal instead, so this is what we have.
Okay.
If there's no further discussion, I'll ask for a motion to approve on the first reading.
So moved.
Second.
Thank you.
Kyle.
Aye.
Miller.
Aye.
Woodward.
Aye.
Lawson.
Aye.
Workman.
Aye. I'll move to suspend the rules for 3 separate readings, 3 separate days.
Second.
Thank you.
Miller.
Aye.
Woodward.
Aye.
Lawson.
Aye.
Workman.
Aye.
Kyle.
Aye.
Motion to approve the resolution.
So moved. Second.
Thank you.
Woodward.
Aye.
Lawson.
Aye.
Workman.
Aye.
Kyle.
Aye.
Miller.
Aye.
Resolution 11-25.
All right, we have no old business this evening, but we do have some new business.
We have another
We still have another resolution.
Oh, forgive me.
It is hard to.
Item B, a resolution affirming the current ward boundaries as being appropriate.
Move for non-reading in full.
Second.
Thank you.
Kyle.
Aye.
Miller.
Aye.
Woodward.
Aye.
Lawson.
Aye.
Workman.
Aye.
So recently, our city engineer's office was contacted by the Board of Elections and asked to provide them with an updated map of our city wards. We have 4 wards. Of course, Angela represents, Mrs. Woodward represents Ward 4, Mr. Miller represents Ward 3, Mr. Caio, Ward 2, and our council president represents Ward 1. Dr. Lawson represents the entire city, so he's referred to as our council at large member. But we have 4 wards in the city of Ashland. And periodically, we're required to update those maps and look at the population to see if we're evenly spread throughout those wards. Well, upon the request by the Board of Elections, we took a look at the maps. The maps have changed slightly because we did annex some land out on the US 250 corridor. However, the land that we annexed didn't have too many voters in it. In fact, I'm not sure that we picked up any additional voters. It's primarily a commercial corridor, so it's all businesses. So after looking at those ward maps and taking into account the numbers from the 2020 census, we're proposing that at this time, we affirm the maps as they are with the addition of the newly annexed, I think it was 90 acres of land out on the US 250 corridor. If anyone's interested, there's approximately, and this can vary at any given time, but there's probably somewhere in the neighborhood of about 4,500 to 5,000 voters in each of your wards. Now, that can drop. There might be 4,300 this day, and there might be 5,100 this day, but on average, you could say it's somewhere in the neighborhood of 4,500 to 5,000 in each of our wards. So, we're asking if you'll affirm the map that is in your packet, which includes the newly annexed territory.
I think the operative term here is substantially equal, and for the most part, they are. So with that, is there any discussion? Hearing none, is there a motion to approve on the first reading?
So moved.
Second.
Thank you.
Miller.
Aye.
Woodward.
Aye.
Lawson.
Aye.
Workman.
Aye.
Kyle.
Aye.
Again, I'll move to suspend the rules for 3 separate readings, 3 separate days.
Second.
Thank you.
Woodward.
Aye.
Lawson.
Aye.
Workman.
Aye.
Kyle.
Aye.
Miller.
Aye.
Motion to approve the resolution?
So moved.
Second.
Thank you.
Lawson.
Aye.
Workman.
Aye.
Kyle.
Aye.
Miller.
Aye.
Woodward.
Aye.
Resolution 12-25.
Then we'll move to new business. Item A will be rezoning related. It is a recommendation for rezoning portions of land from M1 Light Industrial to B2 General Business District. What we're looking for is to set a hearing date for October 7th at the meeting then. So with that, we need a roll call vote, Sherry? Is that it? Okay. Is there any
Are you
discussion?
talking about it?
I can if you'd like. Would you like me to comment on it?
If you'd like to.
I
ma'am.
can't remember if we have a map for this, so everyone can see. This shouldn't be too, I'm sorry. This shouldn't be too complicated. For those that don't know, the City Planning Commission makes recommendations to the City Council when it comes to rezoning certain territories of land in the city. And the area that we're talking about is what we commonly refer to as the Pump House District. Obviously, most of you know that not too long ago, although it's probably been about a generation ago, that area between Union Street, which is right here, following the red dotted line, back to the tracks, and then over here taking in what would have at one time been the office building for the Myers manufacturing facility. All that area in what we're calling the Pump House District used to be manufacturing. Well, clearly it is no longer manufacturing. And in fact, soon it'll be more residential, retail, commercial, and even have a hotel. And the reason this is coming up at this particular time is, as the hotel developer has been working on securing their financing, some of the lending institutions raised the question, what about all this manufacturing area around this hotel? And so it kind of brought it to our attention here in the city building and zoning office that, you know what, this would be a good time to rezone that because it's not going back to manufacturing anytime soon. In fact, we just spoke to the fact that it's going to be developed here starting hopefully September 8th into residential and business, retail, and so on. So again, if anyone is watching, especially at home, because I know the council members have their own packets, basically, this is 4th Street, this is Orange Street, and this is all the land that is going to become apartment buildings. Apartment buildings, the hotel, there's Job and Family Services. This particular green space is what the county commissioners are planning to install the new county administration building on. And so I have a feeling that everyone's very familiar with that area. So that is what we're recommending. The Planning Commission is recommending to the City Council to rezone it from manufacturing to business 2, which doesn't allow every kind of business, but it allows restaurants, retail, hotels, and so on.
Very good. Thank you, Mayor. You know, usually we see rezoning go the other direction to facilitate a business or industrial purpose of some kind. This is not the case. We're going the other direction,
Exactly.
moving more toward residential.
Yep.
It again, is good for that area for sure. So with that, we need a vote or a motion to vote for this rezoning hearing on October 7th. Is there such a motion?
I move to set a rezoning hearing for this land on October 7th.
Very good. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you.
Lawson.
Aye.
Workman.
Aye.
Kyle.
Aye.
Miller.
Aye.
Woodward.
Aye.
All right. Those letters will go out from the clerk's office, I believe. I think they're very good. Okay. With that, we're moving to item B, which is a liquor permit transfer from Gary Lee Adkins Sr. at 118 East 12th Street, Ashland, to Adkins Market LLC at the same address. However, it says first floor and drive-through only. So this is an existing
It is.
permit, but we're changing names. And I don't believe we have any issues with this, do we, Andrew? Okay, very good.
It appears as though it is, previously, the liquor license had been in the owner's personal name, and now he's switching it to his LLC,
Very good.
which bears his name as well.
Right.
But, yeah.
All right, well, with that, we need a motion to not request a hearing at the state level for this permit.
I make a motion that we not require what he said.
Hearing at the state level.
Hearing,
Hearing.
yes, thank
Very
you.
good. Is there a
Second.
Second, thank you.
Lawson.
Aye.
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 All right. And then finally, we have an advertising permit for Omni Fiber, David Hawkins at Mason, Ohio. This will be to allow them to circulate their information for sign-up, and they had paid their fee. So with that, we need a vote to approve. Yes, is there such a motion?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Thank you.
Lawson.
Aye.
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 All right.
Just a point of clarification, anyone doing door-to-door sales, not just people that leave things behind, but anybody that does door-to-door sales should do this. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. There has been a large number of door-to-door sales going on, and every time they come up my driveway, I'm like, you don't have a permit, get off my property. So, and they're like, you need a permit? I always direct them to the mayor's office, so, but they just go to the neighbors.
I have the same experience at my location.
Yeah.
Mr. Kyle, and I have witnessed a workaround lately whereby the salesperson will drive up to the mailbox and put their, I'll call it propaganda, on the mailbox. They'll tape it to the mailbox, then move on to the next one. And that requires a permit as well, I would think.
On their mailbox?
Yes.
I mean, I
I
don't.
mean,
I
they're
think
leaving
it would fall
information,
under our-
yeah. But, yeah, it's almost angering to witness that.
It's just frustrating.
Yeah, yeah, it's, you know,
Some people might say it's better if they don't have to face them, pay face to face.
I
They'd
would
rather
agree
get
with
the
that. Thank
brochure
you.
on the
Yes,
mailbox
yes, yes.
Go get it
than
and throw it
face to
away.
I
face.
do think it's not really acceptable, I won't say illegal because I don't know, to use the federal mail box for that purpose, but
Right.
what do I know? I'm no attorney. So, anyway, we have an onslaught of sales calls in my neighborhood, and it's almost daily, really. And that's not an exaggeration. We can anticipate that, and maybe it'll break with the weather, I don't know. But I can appreciate your sentiment, Mr. Kyle, for sure. With that, we'll move right to Finance Director's report.
Mr. Workman, that's why we send them to your
Yeah.
neighborhood. We tell everybody that you buy.
That's right.
And what's your address, Larry?
South Countryside.
Yeah.
Yes.
Believe it or not, we have completed the 2024 audit, and it's sitting in limbo right now, waiting to be reviewed, along with several hundred audits, I believe, in the auditor's office. So that part is done. It is complete. It is at the review at the state auditor's office. Other than that, we are continuing to try to just monitor the funding of different funds and projects and things, and really not a whole lot going on.
Okay, very
Well,
good.
it may sound like a whole lot not going on, but there is, trust me. Yeah.
Certainly.
I would add to Larry's report that it's always significant when we have someone from the city retire, but this month we have two longtime city employees that have been very important to the success of our city retire. You can speak to the one.
Yeah, 37 years. She started right out of high school, working in the tax office, and ended up in doing the payroll, which we have replaced with another person who has been working with her for well over a year. And
It's Nikki.
Yes.
Nikki
yes.
Scapik.
Good,
Yes.
good for her.
She was a great employee. Yes, so,
And-
and then across town at the street department, Joe Rowland. Joe Rowland was the supervisor of our auto mechanic shop there at the street department, and he's been a strong, steady force here in the city for Not quite as long, but more than 2 decades, yeah,
Decades,
yeah.
Great.
So,
Well, congratulations to the, both of them.
yes, for sure.
All right. Thank you, Larry. We'll go right to council comments. Mr. Kyle, if you'd like to go first.
Yeah. I'm gonna read some notes here I have. So, for anybody listening, this is in regards to fireworks. So since 2022, the city has taken the stance that as long as residents would follow the state's requirements and regulations, we would go along with that. Over the last 3 years, it's become apparent that there are some residents that either refuse or don't understand the state regulations and guidelines. I believe, and I put this in here, I believe in our God-given freedom that we experience in this country, in this state, but I also believe in the safety of every man, woman, and child that lives in this city. And it's for that reason that I would like to formally request that legislation be drafted to institute a ban on fireworks inside the city limits of Ashland. So, that's all I have.
All right. Mr. Miller?
I just want to comment, it's a lot of the little things that happen around this city that make a big impact, and I'm specifically referencing the pumpkin people. We're in line for a Heritage Award from the state of Ohio, which we'll know first part of October. And I was reminded that we did receive the Heritage Award several years ago when the Foundation Plaza was put into the city. So, it's a simple thing like that, but look at how many people that draws, and especially if we get some statewide attention to it, that's just gonna draw more people to our wonderful city. So kudos to the Yoders for
Yes.
doing that, and they promise there'll be more pumpkin people patching up.
Very good. Mrs. Woodward?
I want to take a moment to commend our Ashland community. So we all know there was a house fire day before school started. And it was just amazing to see all the community, the businesses come together to pool for this mom and her 4 children. So we live in that kind of community, and I am thankful to live in that kind of community. So kudos to Ashland residents that helped her. I also just have a couple things for the mayor. A lot of people have asked for an update on the 250 sidewalk and where we are with that, and the amount of truck traffic that we are seeing. And I have myself noticed quite a bit on Claremont. So if you could address those few.
Well, first of all, as it relates to the first item, what was the first item?
The
Sidewalk out on
sidewalk
250.
on 250.
2026 is when that is to be installed.
Okay.
So at
I
the
did
time
not
we got the
remember.
grant,
Okay.
we pointed out that that would be 2
Yes.
years in the making, but the money will be available and the installation should take place next year.
Okay, great.
So that's why no one is seeing a new sidewalk just yet. Now, in regard to the second item, the truck traffic, I mean, there is a lot of truck traffic, there's no doubt. We just last week, I believe, installed no-through truck signs out on 60 as you come into town, and it turns to Center Street, and I believe at the north side of town as well. And we are going to start, likely in the near future, questioning some of the trucks that don't follow those signs. There's a reason why we have the 42 bypass, and should be utilized as an alternative route so that trucks don't have to come down Center Street and don't have to travel downtown on Main Street. It seems, I would agree, as though we've seen an uptick in the number of trucks, and they seem to be getting larger and larger and larger. They take
Yes.
out our parking signs on Main Street, and we're trying to figure out how to address that. So today, I actually was out there on Center Street in 60 by those newly erected signs, and I will say I did watch a couple of semi drivers when they came up 60. You could tell it was registering. They were seeing those signs and kind of slowing up to figure out what to do, but they did ultimately turn to go out to 42. So we'll see how effective they are.
I have noticed them most on Claremont.
Yes.
I was encased by 3. the other-
Semis.
Semis.
Yeah,
on
I don't
Claremont
often
Avenue,
see that.
Right by Burger King, and I'm like, oh.
Wow, I don't often see
So
that,
I-
but Center Street is getting
I have
an
noticed
influx of
more on
trucks.
Claremont, and I'm
Yes.
wondering where they're going. Are they going out to Industrial Parkway, I'm
Yes.
assuming? So
We
is
know
that a
by
cut
some of the
through?
materials they're hauling that they're not traveling to an Ashland destination, they're traveling through Ashland.
Okay,
And
Right.
so we're trying to figure out how, under the law,
Sure.
we can start issuing citations.
okay.
So,
Well, thank you.
and we really are working on it.
Well, thank you.
Those signs just went up,
Great.
so
And the other?
No, that was it.
that was the
it? Okay,
sidewalk.
all
That was
right.
a
I'm the one that
Very good.
forgot what she said.
Forgive me.
Yeah.
That's okay.
Okay, Mr. Lawson?
I just want to say our street was one of the streets that were recently paved, and Sarver Paving did a wonderful job. They got in and out with very little disruption to the neighborhood. It looks wonderful, and I can now ride my skateboard from the top of the development all the way down to the bottom.
Good,
Nice.
But they did a wonderful job.
Great,
excellent.
all right. Mayor, with that, I'll turn it over to you.
Well, first of all, let me respond to Councilmember Miller's comments regarding those awards from the state of Ohio and the Heritage Awards. We actually also got a recognition for the theater last year, I believe it was. Last year or the year before, we got one for that as well, a statewide recognition. So we're moving in the right direction. And if those three awards didn't tell you we're moving in the right direction, the fact that the Ohio Magazine folks have determined that we're one of the 5 best hometowns in Ohio should suggest that we certainly are making progress in our great community. Today, we actually met with a representative from the magazine as they prepare the November, December issue. And we're going to make sure that we put our best foot forward in all of the photos and all of the stories and all of the events that we advertise in that particular issue. And our Economic Development Office, we're getting involved in it in a major way so that we can use it to further market our community in the years to come. Because let's face it, as we've said before, our mission is to make this the most livable community around. And we're convinced that if we can make it the place everyone wants to live, we'll have no problem attracting new businesses here. Because the reality is, every business has a leader and a leadership team and a management team, and they all want to be located in a place where they want to live. So you can start to see some of these ramifications out in the industrial park as you're seeing more and more activity and more buildings be built. And incidentally, Amazon has hired now, I believe, I heard 40 truck drivers, I believe, or delivery workers, not necessarily truck drivers, but delivery workers already. So they're making progress. The pumpkin people, they are expected to arrive September 12th. So September 12th, you should wake up and see the pumpkin people here, and there will be more. So they will be quite a draw, and they will be part of our feature in that November edition of Ohio Magazine.
May I say?
Yes.
If you've never read the Ohio Magazine, it is a really nice magazine. It's got great articles, great pictures.
Beautiful pictures.
It's really, and it highlights what Ohio has to offer in every issue. It's really, really a good magazine. I'd recommend it.
Very good.
Go ahead.
And in regard to fireworks, Mr. Caio is right. When the state law changed to permit the use of fireworks across the great state of Ohio, we did take a look at whether or not we wish to ban them in our city. A lot of cities did move forward with legislation to completely ban them outright. Our law director's office took a look at the Ohio Revised Code changes and our existing city ordinances and determined that if everyone were following the rules, it would pretty much mean there would be no fireworks use in the city of Ashland. Clearly, that has not been the case. And in fact, some of the shows are getting bigger and bigger in people's backyards. And I think that's where the concern is starting to arise in many people's minds. I've talked to the county sheriff about it, as well as the city police chief. City police chief, he looked at the numbers, and here in 2025, so far, there's been 39 calls since January until today related to fireworks, and 17 occurred over the July 4th holiday weekend, a few days before, during, and after. So can't necessarily say that the calls are up, but I think that any of us that are here during those holidays or July 4th, you certainly saw fireworks just about every direction when you watched standing there at Freer Field. And some people are putting on some pretty big shows, like I say, in their backyards, and those shows are way too big for the amount of land the individual homeowners have. So, we are open to certainly passing the legislation to ban them in the city. So, and just I'll add, this, if you don't know, our sheriff is actually a fire arson investigator. And that's what he's been doing for years. And so he's seen a lot of incidents where fireworks didn't turn out like they were expected to and harmed those that are setting them off or watching the show and so on, and some of these amateur programs that people put on their backyards. So he would be a strong proponent, I'm sure, of banning them in the city. Now, not necessarily out in the county where there's a lot more room, but certainly here in the city. I won't speak for him, but I have had the conversation, so.
Very good. With that, Mayor, we'll move to comments and questions from our audience. We have a taker. Good evening, Tom.
Hi, I have a rare comment tonight. I applaud and agree with the idea of maintaining the boundaries on the wards. However, because there are some imbalances, there are always imbalances. The interesting thing about that is, with all the growth that's proposed, the apartment complexes, the annexations, the condominiums, in 5 to 10 years, it's probably going to be very appropriate to look at it because we could have significant population shifts. But for right now, you're right on target.
Thank you for that.
Appreciate that.
That is exactly my thinking, is that I don't think that it would be a good idea to change it now, but I think maybe 2 years from now, we'll find that it
Yeah.
definitely makes sense to change it.
All right. If we have no other comments, then we'll ask for a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Thank you.
Lawson.
Aye.
Worthing.
Aye.
Tyler.
Aye.
Wheeler.
Aye.
Aye.
All right, we are adjourned. Thank you all for coming.